click it. I'm waiting for you to click that button. Click it right now.
Well, I just clicked it like
Yeah.
15, 20 seconds ago. All right, we're
Click it.
live. Welcome to
How
the
come I don't?
podcast, everybody.
Oh, there it is. I was like
Hopefully
looking for it.
you're sitting there.
Double talk.
You're hunting. You're hunting. Oh no, you got a thing going. Oh no, look at you.
What thing?
Yeah, your thing.
What thing?
Now, can you take a moment and see if me and you are at the same audio level, or if you're just like blowed out of your mind?
I
Or
mean, I
not?
can, but I'll hear myself double.
Make it trouble. Are you doing it?
It sounds good.
You sounds
sounds good to
okay.
me.
All right. Now
Sounds
it's on
pretty good to
you.
me.
It's on you now. It's on you now.
I gotta adjust.
Do your yeah. Well, we only had 30 minutes to fix all this before the podcast.
Shush! Something changed, and I didn't mean for it to somehow.
Things are changing.
I don't like the top of my head being cut off. I feel.
I don't think a lot of people would like that.
Well, I mean, I don't mean it like legitimately, or literally.
Yeah.
I like to be in frame.
Okay. And all that good stuff. Are you on your new computer right now?
I'm on my new computer right
Ooh.
now. It's actually not technically a new computer. It just has some
it's got the new
components.
bits. Yeah. So that's like the whole like ship of Theseus thing, right? Like if you replace everything, is it still the same thing? Or is it still like is it new?
Right.
Is it the old one? Like what is it? What do you think? What do you just a quick question that kind of yeah. What do you think? If you have at least one little sliver of the original thing, is it still the thing, or is it something totally different if you replace enough stuff?
I mean, I really think it depends on what we're talking about. Like, I don't know.
Enough stuff.
That's a really interesting question, and a really like conundrum filled question as well. Because I think like if you're talking about an inanimate object,
yeah,
like a boat, like the original, thing is, ship of whatever you said, Theseus. God, I mean, I think the more important question is, does it matter?
No.
Does it matter?
No.
Now, if you're talking about a person, like let's say we're in an age of like augments,
like robot
Deus
body,
Ex.
robot body.
Yeah. And now we're in an area of something where that question actually matters.
Yeah.
You know, because you're talking about something that is alive, sentient, arguably, whether you believe it or not, possibility of a soul, if that's something you believe in, but there it is nonetheless.
Yeah.
So I think that question holds more water, because a boat shouldn't hold water.
There you go. I don't have my sound effects on this scene. So there you go. You get them live.
Damn
it.
Dang. Oh, nope, no swearing, remember? New policies.
No, we can swear. Actually, YouTube started like they rolled back on some of that. Like everybody got all upsetty sketty, as they should have. And YouTube was like, okay, hold on a second. So they made kind of like a non-statement statement type thing, and like it seems like it
seems to be the trend.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I don't mean to necessarily jump us into one of our talking points.
No, by all means, do.
But we talked about D&D, Wizards of the Coast, Hasbro, and that whole cluster, what?
Yeah.
With the the open gaming license and all this stuff. Well, apparently they've heard they've sort of heard everyone complaining, and have kind of started like whoa,
like
easy,
whoa,
easy guys.
They realize how quickly it can slip away from them.
Dude, so I don't remember if we talked about it in the last episode, but one of the things that people were doing was canceling their D&D Beyond subscriptions, because apparently that was one of the big metrics that was at some point it was leaked by, I think, maybe someone that works there, saying like, hey, if you really want to hurt them, cancel your D&D Beyond
Oh yeah,
subscriptions.
because that's how they were rating their. That's like one
That's
of
how they were
their.
making their money.
Yeah.
Dude, Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast, I'm not sure if it's one or both, their stock dropped like 40%
Oh,
because this trend of canceling D&D Beyond subscriptions, that's how much of a hit they've actually taken
that's
from
a
all of this.
that's a lot. That is
Yeah.
if you're not a stock market person, or you're just like, how do money, like a 40% reduction in your like projected fiscal earnings is, it's highly detrimental. Investors see that and they're like, oh, something bad happened here.
Yeah.
It's like when you pull up to an intersection and you just see glass everywhere, but there's no sign of anything else. You're just like, something bad happened here a minute ago. Like they just got done cleaning it up.
Yeah, apparently since that they've come out with kind of like you said with
A non-statement statement.
a non-statement statement where they're like, you guys, we hear you, but we're also still right, but what you think is the deal is actually not what you think it is, and like
Yeah.
you are overreacting. I think there was even a statement about someone saying that, oh, in like a month it'll all blow over, and so they're just probably going to end up trying to do this again at some point. They haven't actually come out and said that they're not going to mess with the gaming license at all. They've just said that it's not the way that they think it's going to be. Like the draft that leaked, it's not going to be like that. Like, calm down. It's not as bad as you guys think it is. So like,
I wonder if they leak that on purpose just to see what community feedback would be. Because
it's
like
possible.
technically they never released it, nothing ever changed. Like it was just like a, hey, this might happen in January or February. And then it just like it blew the top off of it, right? And then like people were getting all kinds of upsetty sketty and like flipping their shit. That's one of the reasons like Critical Role made that statement of like, as of right now, we kind of like everything's okay with yada yada, because legally they hadn't done anything.
Well, and D&D
So
Beyond has been a sponsor of Critical Role for a
yeah,
long time. So
so
they're they're dick deep in
yeah,
in
like
legal contracts
yeah.
with that space.
But that's the thing, like they had to legally be like, as of right now, everything's fine.
Hmm.
But everybody
Well,
read into it as like once shit hits the fan, like, oh, we're jumping off this boat.
well, here's the interesting thing. I can't remember if I think it was Twitter. Maybe I saw it on or TikTok. I don't know.
Yeah,
But so they were saying like, everyone, complaining that Critical Role isn't taking a more like stern stance on this. In one of their like, I think it was in one of their videos or maybe a post that was a Critical Role post. One of their hashtags
yeah,
was open D&D.
yeah. Well,
So
that's yeah.
they're kind of like sort of like supporting
Well, yeah, you
free
gotta
D&D without openly saying it essentially.
you gotta think like at the end of the day, they're still a business. Like no matter what,
Yeah.
they're a group of people that are in business together. I don't know if one of them owns it or if they're all partners in it or whatever.
I think they're partners.
But like it's a group of people that own a business, and like as a business it's a lot more legally harmful if they're just like if they take hard firm stances on things that they already have like legal contracts for and stuff like that, unless it's like a moral like judgment, right? Like they kind of need to be like, we don't until like things actually pan out, we can't really say anything until blah 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 blah
Mm-hmm.
blah and all this. Like I bet you like they like one of them or a few of them made a statement, sent it to a lawyer, the lawyer sent it back, they sent it, revised it, sent it back to the lawyer, and like that
Mm-hmm.
happened for like at least a day and a half to 2 days, and then they posted it
Probably.
just so they wouldn't get like screwed on, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, like you said, they're a business, and it's a business that is funded by sponsorships and is
Yeah.
steeped in legality. Like there's even if they were unless they were willing to risk their in everything to take a stance morally, I mean, there's no reason to.
Well, they're not going to until they got something to go to. Like if they would have had a TTR RPG ready to go right then.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, well, this is going to blow up in everybody's face. Why don't y'all go buy this? And then, like, as soon as it, like, jumped ship right there, dude, they would have been, overnight, there would have been another TTRPG just go. There would have been a whole nother, you know how, like, D&D has its own channel on Twitch?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it would have, that probably would have changed. There probably would have been instead of a D&D channel, it would have been a tabletop RPG channel, which I think actually is a thing. I'm
sure it is.
But everybody goes in the D&D list anyway.
Right. Well, here's the interesting thing. I can't. What's the name of the company? It's called Paizo. I don't know. Paizo. However you pronounce that. I think that's the company that developed Pathfinder.
Yeah.
Which for until this whole thing, I always thought that Pathfinder was official D&D content. It's actually a homebrew that was made by independent people, which this whole debacle would greatly affect them and people like them, because they created a game, Pathfinder, and other games as well, using the open gaming license. So here's the interesting thing that I read, that company was actually working on creating their own new system, and they're probably still working on it, and they're probably still going to release it. I think Wizards' days are numbered.
Yeah.
And possibly even D&D, which is sad. At least on the scale of like content creation. I mean, you and me could still play it as much as we wanted to.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that this company is.
I don't know. I don't.
You don't want to play D&D with me. You don't like me anymore?
Like I think D like the statement D&D's days are numbered is not. That's not gonna age well. Just for the simple fact that like we often forget like the speed at which the internet forgets shit.
I mean, that's true.
Like, granted, like tabletop RPG players, mostly D&D players, like we have long memories because our games take a very long ass fucking time to play, and we like play it over months at a time, right? We're not like these little whippersnappers. It's like, oh, 15-second video. What did I watch 20 seconds ago? I don't remember. Like that kind of stuff. Granted, like my memory is starting to slip because I'm getting old, man. Freaking it sucks. Some days I'm just like, did I drive to this place? I must have, because I got here. How else?
I'm here.
But I don't remember driving here. Like what? Yeah. Like all that kind of stuff. But anyway, like I think like the D&D, like, oh, this is the D&D brand, blah blah blah. Their thing. I think that's still going to be around. It may not be as like. Oh, that was like a little hiccup. I'm sorry. That was weird.
You okay?
Yeah, like that's another thing about getting old. Like your body just does things, and you don't understand why. But I think the D&D like banner of like I play D&D, blah blah blah. This is my label as a gamer that I put on myself, yada yada. Right, like that type of thing won't be as strong.
Yeah,
but I think it's still going to be.
System comes up.
Yeah, like I think it's still going to be a thing. Like, definitely a lot of people have just been like, oh, we need to find an alternative because they've shown that they're not trustworthy, and that's it.
Yeah. They have controlling interests in things that we like and enjoy
yeah.
and make our living off of. Like,
yeah.
Talk about putting all of your eggs in one basket. So
yeah, like that's the thing. Like now everybody realizes like my eggs are in a basket. We need to have more than one basket.
Yeah, and I don't. Yeah, I was trying to say that it wasn't D&D that was going away. Away. That wasn't what I was trying to say. But definitely feel like Wizards of the Coast. I mean, they might recover some, but I think it's too little, too late. You know, I think they screwed the pooch, and there's a lot of people who are probably not going to go back to D&D Beyond, and because D&D Beyond used to, here's the real tragedy. D&D Beyond used to be a privately owned company. It was D&D, not D&D, and then D&D bought D&D Beyond because it was such a really great platform and really
that's useful. Not confusing at all.
Well, they had to meet. They couldn't have D&D because that's a copyrighted thing, so it was D&D until they were bought. So it sucks for the people that work for D&D Beyond because they're just people who made a platform that's really accessible and really easy to use for people who play D&D, bought
Yeah.
by a big company who is owned by an even bigger company who is screwing them all over. I feel bad for them,
Yeah.
because they started off as like
An independent
nobodies,
things.
and
Yeah.
Critical Role like supported them and used their thing, and there was a sponsorship, and I think that's probably what led to D&D Beyond's popularity,
Yeah.
and eventually being bought by D&D.
Yeah.
It's just like I feel bad for them.
Yeah.
It's not their fault.
Yeah.
They can't control what
They
big
put
public
in they put in the
company
work
does.
and made a pretty good product for a consumer base that was super loyal, and now they got bought, and who bought them is starting to fuck that consumer base over, and they're just like, fuck, it sucks.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah.
And there was another really good point that someone made. There was a bit of, and it might still be an ongoing thing, where there was a lot of people who were going to boycott the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Yeah.
And someone made a good point saying Dungeons and Dragon movie has nothing to do with what's happening.
Yeah.
Like if
Like they don't.
there's real people, actors, directors, producers, everything, all who are making this movie, and they don't deserve to be, you know,
Yeah.
aimed at in this crusade against Wizard of the
Which,
Coast and
yeah.
Hasbro, which I think is a good point. Like
Yeah.
they're their own thing, and they have nothing to do with what's going on. So like, there's no point really. Like boycotting that movie will make no difference, and you're only going to hurt the people that actually put the time and sweat into that movie.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the only people that you're probably going to hurt by boycotting a movie that's like, or boycotting a product that's after the fact or a tertiary to a thing is like the initial investors, like the publishers,
Mm,
because they're not going to get a return on their investment, right? Or
right.
the producers or whoever, whatever they're called. I think it's producers. Producers are the ones that fund the money or fund the movie. Like they write the budgets and they find like you could do this, this, or this because these things are cost effective and make numbers go up and stuff like that. And
I don't
then
know.
like maybe actors if they have like if their pay is based off of theatrical release stuff, like that is a thing. Like some of them do negotiate in their contracts, like the bigger stars, like they'll negotiate like if it does like big buku bucks in the box office, then you're going to pay me big buku bucks, but if not, then not. That was one of the big things when everybody went like COVID happened and all these movies got moved over to streaming platforms and all these actors were all upsetty sketty because contracts were violated. They were breached. Like contracts were breached and then like agreements had to be made and stuff like that. Because you remember like Dune came out and like all those actors were just like, this is terrible. This needs to be at a theater. And it was because like their pay was based off of box office release.
Right.
The Black Widow movie came out, and Scarlett Johansson was all kinds of upsetty sketty about it because her paycheck was based off of theatrical release numbers, and that's
Yeah.
what it was. And plus, like, I mean, yeah, it's they have a financial thing like tied to it, but like also like that's kind of like something you really work on and you're like trying to like make good and you want it to compete in a marketplace with other things like it so you know where it stands and all this other thing. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's a whole
Yeah.
thing. But like it doesn't like the my point is like the dude holding the microphone that's like standing here for
Yeah.
like 8 hours a day. That dude's getting paid. He's getting paid like that week, right? So
That's
boycotting a
true.
movie doesn't hurt that dude.
And we
Or
don't want to hurt
like
that dude anyway, since he
or
has nothing to
yeah,
do with,
yeah. Or like the lady running the camera, she's sitting there, she's trying to make the best shot she can.
her hands are shaking.
She's sitting there like, oh my god, these are all oh it's so expensive. No. Like it doesn't affect that person, right? Like it doesn't affect her because she's getting paid to
Yeah.
do it in that moment, right? But like there's there's a couple of people that will get affected, but are those people already millionaires already? Probably.
Yeah. And I'm sure Hasbro and Wizards are getting a cut out of the movie because it's
Probably.
It's Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, they've made it very clear that, but it depends. Like, was this movie developed before
Yeah.
this whole open gaming license thing
Yeah.
became a thing? You know,
Movies are developed like years before we even see the trailer for them.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wonder if they even fall under that. So, but I mean, but they would have to have some kind of
Like
communication with
all the
Hasbro
legal,
and
yeah,
Wizards
I don't
because they're
know,
still
but
using the D&D name.
yeah, like all the
So
legal stuff is sorted out probably when the script is written. Like the script is
sure,
written, and then they're like, "All right, let's go figure out the legal shit."
let's go talk to their people, and their
Yeah.
people will talk to our people, and
I'm pretty sure that's the reason why we see a lot of great scripts or hear about a lot of great scripts or stories and stuff. And they're like, yeah, these people, they bought that script, but they never did anything with it. Probably because, like, legally, they just can't. Like, somebody wants too much money for what they think they can make money off of it. So, like, they just can't do it. So, yeah.
money is the root of all evil, man.
It's what makes the world go round.
Both those things.
Yeah. Like, it's
the true tragedy of mankind.
Yep. It's the best, worst thing ever happened to us. Speaking of best, worst things, your computer. Tell me about this computer. I put it as the title to this podcast, and we still haven't talked about it. We're 20 minutes in. We haven't talked about it.
Hey, you asked me if there was anything that I could talk about for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I did mention the computer thing, and then we started talking about D&D, but the segue was too good to pass up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if anyone remembers from the last time we talked, I was in the process of cluster effing myself with this upgrade to my computer, because in the previous episode I was super excited and was like, I got a freaking new graphics card and our this and this and this, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to put it all together, but that didn't go as planned, as we all know, because things didn't fit. Things didn't come with things that they needed to come with, like power cables and important stuff like that.
Oh my.
Yeah. And I think I mentioned all of this last time, and I think last time I was just waiting for everything to be delivered to my abode.
Dude, isn't that like the worst, like, well, I'm just waiting on this one part.
Yeah, especially because my 3090 Ti was sitting in a box in my room for like over a week. You know how hard that is?
Just like in its little plastic wrap, you're just like, oh, look, it's so nice. One day it's gonna make video game happen. One day.
That's like a kid who gets like a nice cool action figure for Christmas. He knows it's probably gonna be worth money someday, so he decides to not open it and play with it. Like that's not easy to do.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I was faced with not having a choice, which made it easier to not do. But anyways, I digress. So finally all this stuff shows up, right? I've got my new case. I've got the cable. What else was I waiting on? I still got that thin fan which we unboxed in the last episode.
Oh yeah.
Not only am I not using it, or not only did I not need it, I can't use it.
Why?
I mean, I probably could. So okay, I will explain
it's just a
why.
fan.
I understand. I could use it, but I don't have anywhere to put it, actually. Everything's full.
Tape it to your head, whatever.
Nope.
Just like
no.
Just put it on. You know how like you've got your stormtrooper on one side, just put it on the other side. Just nobody will see it, and it keeps your head cool.
It's not a bad idea. I'll workshop it.
We're gonna make it happen. You heard it here first,
dude. That's actually not a bad. Like, we should patent that idea. Freaking headphones with fans on them.
No, you know those. You remember those fans that's got that weird like metal like flexi arm thing on it that has like the little thing that you could hold, and it's just like a little fan that usually looks like a flower and it's got a smiley face or something. Just take one of those and like mold it into the actual head cup to where you could just like move it where you want to, and it runs as long as it runs off of power from something. You're great.
Boom.
That's
our idea. Hasbro, if you're listening, go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. I just now I thought of a totally different, way more complicated version of that. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
All right, you know those silent fans or those like bladeless fans or whatever. You know how they're like
Hmm.
a oval shape that's like round.
Yeah.
All right, this piece, make that, but like mold it like that to where it's moving air over your. The scientific reason of like it's not really putting air on your head; it's just moving air across your head, which wicks away the moisture, and then blah 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 blah. And we could charge $1,000 for it.
Damn.
It's got scientific, like there's going to be a dude in a lab coat in the commercial, and that'll
Uh-huh.
sell.
Uh-huh.
That'll sell for real.
We own the intellectual properties of this
Yeah,
idea.
yeah,
Anyone
yeah, yeah,
listening,
yeah.
like you can't take this idea; it's copyrighted.
And
I'm
if you
sure that's how
take
this works.
on the opening, if you make it like a diffused RGB thing, to where it's just
Ooh.
like a halo of RGB around your head, so you look
Hmm.
like a video game Yeezus, then
We'll call it. We'll call
you'll
it
be
the
good.
Halo.
The Halo, yeah. Okay.
Anyways,
There. All right. Sorry. Go ahead.
no, no, I like it. I like it.
All
We
right.
should run with that. So yes, I got all the stuff. Got
Yeah.
all the stuff. The weekend
Yeah.
comes up. I'm off. I'm off work on the weekend, so I'm like, I'm gonna. Actually, here's the thing. I decided for some reason, and I may have mentioned this last week or not. I can't remember. I for some reason decided to have the case shipped to a UPS store near me,
Oh, to pick it up.
and that was a big freaking mistake because I went in there, tried to go in there before work,
Yeah.
and there was like a line a mile freaking long, and I'm like, nope, I'm getting it on the weekend. So I waited till the weekend, got up at like 9 a.m., which for me is early. Like I don't normally wake up till like noon
Yeah,
because I work
because
the
you're
late
like,
shift.
yeah, you're a night person. Like you don't go to bed until 7 in the morning.
Like between 4 and 5 a.m.
Well, you go to bed 7 in the morning my time.
Sure.
Yeah. So nine
Yeah,
o'clock is like, oh, I've had 3 hours of sleep. This feels great.
exactly. So yes, I got up at the butt crack of dawn for me and went down there. There was no one else there. I walked right in. I got my case. I actually ordered more thermal paste because I wasn't sure if I was going to need it because at the time I wasn't sure if what I had was still good. Whatever. I was like, I'm getting stuff on the interwebs. I'm just going to order some new paste and it'll come with everything. And it did. So I got that and I didn't. It's still in the packaging. I never opened it. That was just in case because if I was going to toss the water cooler for the CPU and just put on the regular heatsink and fan, I
Mhm.
wanted to clean up the paste and put new paste down before doing that. Which
Yeah.
is why I did that, which I didn't end up needing
Oh,
either.
hold on to it because
Yeah,
you're always going to need it. Like hell,
yeah,
I've even got like a tube right here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's still in the package. I'm not even gonna take it out of the packaging.
Like
It's like
it
sealed.
took me an hour and a half to get this. Like where I live in South Carolina, the only tech store that we have is Best Buy. And the Best
Yeah.
Buy, the closest Best Buy to me is freaking an hour and a half away.
Ugh.
And I had to go. It was that, you remember that live stream I did where it's like, I'm going to build a computer, blah, 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 blah. You know, like that. Yeah. I was just like, all right, guys, I'm gonna go find some like thermal paste. Like Walmart said they had some. They didn't have any. They don't even know what the
course.
hell. Like they thought I was
They
talking about
they don't have a clue.
toothpaste. Yeah. Anyway.
Hey, you know what? So what? Before I ended up ordering that power cable for my graphics card, I called around different places, anything I could think of that some like computers, like repair shops. Of course, none of them have anything, and half of them didn't even know what I was talking about. It's like pathetic, really. Like you're
Yeah.
a computer repair shop and you don't even know what a 3090 Ti is. They're like, what is that? Is that something for a car? I'm like, no. Are you serious? I was mad because there's no computer stores anymore, man.
Well, no,
Like
like
when I was
there's
growing
not,
up, there was computer stores all over the place.
because
they're
Amazon
not
ran them out of business.
Freaking bull crap, man. Now you have to wait for everything. You can't just go to the store and get it anymore.
Yep.
Anyways, where was I?
There's probably an entire like branch or division of like employees or employment in companies that's just like, hey, we need to order everything. Let's preemptively order things like to where it's like shows up the exact day we need it to, like to schedule, like the whole logistics like thing, the scheduling. There's probably entire careers devoted to that, just because it's such a predominant thing in our day to day that we don't even realize it really. All right. Sorry, go
I
ahead.
don't want that job. I do not want that job. Screw logistics.
I love logistics, like freaking inventory management. Oh,
I
yes.
know. You get hard on
Yeah.
that.
I love it.
So yeah, I got all the stuff. Brought the case back and started. Actually, I had before I could even start doing anything, I had to edit a video for the next day because just in case in case everything went tits up, which it almost did, I wanted to make sure the next day was covered. So I had to edit a video, wait for it to upload, and then I could get working on my computer. So I got up at 9 a.m. to get the case. I don't think I started actually working on putting it together till like noon time.
Yeah.
So there's more waiting, of course.
Yeah.
Um, so I get it's time. Now it's time to build or not really build, but kind of build really because I'm
Yeah.
literally taking all of like the motherboard, the GPU,
The
gosh,
bits.
brain,
The
the
bits.
goodies, the
Yeah.
bits and the goodies of the computer, and from the old case, which is a mid tower, which is small.
Yeah.
My bad for not having them give me a big case when I custom made that computer. I won't
Yeah.
make that mistake again. Yeah, moving it all. Luckily, I was able to remove the radiator
Yeah.
for the CPU cooler from the computer and have it still connected to the motherboard without taking all that apart.
Yeah, you
That was
just like
nice.
unhook it and like hang it over the side there, pull
More
the
or
motherboard
less.
out, and it's all one
More or
bit. Yeah,
less.
yeah, yeah.
So, got the motherboard in, the new case. I'm like, yeah, this is great. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna put the radiator against the front of the PC like it was on the old one.
Yeah.
It's too far away now.
The case is too big.
The case is too big.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, frick!
You just
Like
proverbially threw the hot dog down the hallway, didn't you?
that was the first thing to happen where I was like, oh, I have screwed up again
You're
somehow.
just like, it won't. I need hose stretchers.
But thankfully, I just put it on the top and
Yeah.
it fit. And there was there's it
Plenty
worked
of
out
room.
great.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Okay.
okay, crisis averted.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember how all this went down. So the next thing that I ended up doing was I think I put the hard drive in. That was easy. Hard drive's like the easiest thing in a
Yeah.
computer. You literally just put it in there and connect it.
Half the time, I just like double-sided tape my hard drives to things. I'm just like, plug it in, slap it on. That, or if it's an M.2, you just put it in the slot and it's done.
Well, the M.2 just stayed in the motherboard. I didn't
Yeah.
have to take that out. But this case actually has a cool little. It doesn't have those little like clippy things where you slide it in.
Yeah, the trays.
There-
Yeah.
Yeah, the trays. It actually had like a vertical one on the side where you remove like one screw and it disconnects
yeah,
from
yeah,
it, and
yeah.
then you
There's-
screw it in and just like slide it back in and put the one screw in. I was like,
Yeah.
hell yeah, this is amazing.
Little hot swap trays. Yeah.
Yeah, it was super cool. I
Yeah.
like that. That was like about the only thing I liked about the entire experience. So, one thing that the old computer had that I've never personally dealt with, and in retrospect is very simple,
Yeah.
but when you're in the moment and you don't actually know what it is because you've never dealt with it before, and you're already a little frustrated, it's not quite as simple in that
What?
moment. And I was dealing with a fan hub.
Oh,
you
for
ever-
for the fan control hub. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I can't like control it remotely. I know there's some that do. This one's not as fancy because
Yeah.
this is just what they put in the computer when I ordered it.
Yeah.
Because I have 6 fans in this PC. There's 3 in the front, 2 on the radiator on the top, and then 1 in the back, right?
Yeah.
So there's not 6 places to plug in fans to a motherboard unless you've got some kind of like Uber motherboard.
Yeah.
There's like what, 2?
Typically you'll have one for the CPU, one header for the CPU. You'll have
Right.
another header for like front case fans, and another header for like the rear and top case fans. So like three or
Yeah.
4 maybe.
So essentially, this fan hub is just like this. When I first saw it, I thought it was a SSD. I'd never seen one before. I'm like, what is this? I
Yeah.
noticed all the wires coming out of it and put two and two together. But essentially, it just lets you to take all your fans, plug it into this little box, and then one cable goes to the power supply. Super easy, super simple.
Yeah, they're
But
great.
there was another little plug-in that connects to your motherboard.
Yeah, that way you can like it knows like how much juice to get. Yeah.
I couldn't find it.
That
I couldn't find the cable.
Oh,
I
it
had
wasn't in the
disconnected
thing?
it.
Oh, no.
I had disconnected it when I took it all apart from the first computer, but when I was putting it back together, I couldn't find it. To this day, I haven't found it. I looked up, do you need to plug this thing into the motherboard? It's the internet said no, it's mostly for
No.
controlling the fan speed and
Yeah.
stuff. You don't need it. I'm like, screw it.
Yeah.
If I don't need it, I'm not going to put I spent like 2 hours looking for it in my room where I took apart the one computer and started the other one. I didn't go anywhere. I didn't move anything.
Your
And yet for
cat
some
took it.
reason,
Your cat
I
took
don't
it.
know.
Yeah, your
To
cat
this
took
day,
it.
I have
Yeah.
no idea what happened to that cable. But ultimately, I didn't end up needing it.
Dude, the next
Sent that.
people that move into that apartment, there's going to be a little like they're going to have the ghost of the cable. Like it's going to
Yeah,
haunt them
it's going to be trying to put itself in their
in their computers.
computer.
What is this extra cable? It just like that's a whole horror film where it's just like this extra cable just finds itself wherever. You know, there's just a cable hanging out of this thing, and you're like, ah! And it's like an OCD
And it's like
person's
stop motion.
yeah, it's an OCD person's worst nightmare is just like this erroneous cable that's not hooked to anything, but it's just like there looking at you all the time. Dude, that's a real horror film. That's a real like you wanna like terrify a very small subset of people. There you go.
I'll get on that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get to work on that.
All right. But yeah, you got it all together though. How's it run?
It runs great.
Does it crush?
Yeah, dude. So, well, first of all, here's a funny thing. So, as I and let me tell you something else. Like another reason I needed this case is because there wasn't enough room for the power supply and like having that much space between. I needed about like that much space for all the freaking cables.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Oh, the cables. There's more. There's more drama, dude. There's more drama. So you know how with like power cables, they say don't force it. If it connects, then it's meant to be.
Yeah, yeah, that's
These cables will connect whether they're on right or wrong. Okay, so here's the thing: power supply for power supply for like GPU, PCI, whatever. It's 8 pins, or it's an 8-pin connection on my power supply. So I've got this freaking 16-pin bullcrap adapter that I bought, which goes into 3 8-pin prongs, which then you take 3 PCI power cables, 3 separate ones, and then those go into your power supply, right?
Yeah.
So the one end of these PCI cables is 8-pin, right? And the other end is 6 with like a little dongle, which makes it 8, right?
The 6x2, yeah.
So for some reason, like I don't like at this point, I am so beyond frustrated, and like I'm not even thinking clearly or rationally. And I plug it into, I plug the one into the dongles from the GPU, and then I'm going to plug in this other bit to the power supply, and it's not fitting. And I'm like, okay, let's try the little dongle piece. It's the wrong orientation. Like some of them have like a little rounded end, and some of them are square.
Yeah.
It wasn't working, and I'm sitting here being like, did I get the wrong cord? Did I get the wrong adapter? Did I get the wrong power supply?
You went all the way back to preschool where you got this square peg and you're trying to fit it in this weird semicircle hole.
Yes. and then it just occurred to me to like unplug it and flip it around, and it worked perfectly.
There you go.
And I'm like, but wait, there's more.
Wait, there's more.
The power cable that goes to your motherboard that powers your CPU.
Yeah.
I did the same freaking thing.
Bless your heart.
I plugged it in backwards.
Bless your heart.
But it went in. There was no resistance. So I thought, okay, this is correct then, because if it doesn't go in, then it's wrong.
Huh?
That's how I've always had computers, and like when building computers. If it doesn't fit, then you're doing it wrong. But if it fits, you did it right.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter anymore. They're throwing monkey wrenches in my freaking knowledge of building computers in the 90s. Because that's my most of my experience building computers is like way back with like 486s and
Hey,
freaking
look
bullcrap like
here,
that.
old dog. You're gonna have to learn new tricks, okay?
Well,
All
I
right.
did. I did.
You're not
It,
only gonna need to know how to play fetch.
mm,
You gotta learn. You gotta learn the other things. I don't know what the name of any other dog tricks. The rollover, the jump and twist, whatever it is.
I don't know. I don't believe in teaching dogs tricks. Just let them dogs be dogs.
Yeah.
Don't make them jump through hoops. Anyways, all that said and done, I got everything plugged in. I think I got the sides back on, the front panel back on. I'm like, I think I'm done with this. And even in that moment, I'm like, I freaking went through all this trouble. It's probably not even gonna work. Nothing's gonna work. I probably fucked it all up.
Yeah.
Stupid. This has been a whole fucking waste of time. Because at
Yeah.
this point, I am like burned out. Like I am ready to throw this thing out the window and just go buy a brand new computer. I am not kidding. I am not kidding.
Yeah.
And I got it all plugged in. Hit the power switch.
And it went
All the lights
Sega.
turned on. It went. And like I was looking because I wanted to make sure that I had the RGBs connected properly and the fans.
Yeah.
All the fans were spinning, all the lights were on. It
Yeah.
turned on. I looked at detecting a 3090 Ti,
Nice.
and I'm just like, holy shit, I
It
think
happened.
I actually
It
did
worked.
this.
Great. You just
I don't
beat
know how it came together, but it somehow did.
you just beat your first IRL Dark Souls boss.
Dude.
You said you hate boss fights. This is why boss fights feel so good.
No.
Yeah.
Dude, I did
Anybody
not feel good afterwards.
Anybody could build a
I was
computer.
I was beat to hell. I was sore. I went to sleep afterwards. I was so stressed out. Dude, I am not kidding. I was sore. Like I had worked out.
You put this whole thing together, turned it on, and be like, well, it works, so go to bed.
I think I maybe not quite that soon.
Oh
but
my
like,
gosh. You didn't even play a
did-
game on it as soon as you
I
got it
did
together.
actually. I installed Witcher 3 with the next gen update.
How's it run?
Ultra ray tracing settings.
And you're just like,
No frame loss, baby. I'm just like, oh my god.
See, like that's the one thing I can't do is the ray tracing. That's because I got an AMD card. Like it's
I was
just
questionable.
Yeah, but still, like, oh, you got DLSS to fix it and make it feel good. Plus, I think like The Witcher's ray tracing implementation is kind of weird. Like
it's probably not true because it's been added later.
No, like I think when I was fiddling around with it just to see like using it as a performance benchmark or whatever and playing it a little bit, like for AMD, like they have it under the anti-aliasing setting. Like you go up to like it's TAA and yada yada yada, and then it's just like FXR. Yeah, that's where their DLSS and stuff is in the anti-aliasing setting, and I'm just like, what? Why is this like FSR and DLSS are not anti-aliasing? Those are frame generation settings. They're not smoothing corners and stuff like that. Like this is not. I don't know. Maybe in
the
Poland
subcategory.
Yeah, maybe in Poland there's something different, but like that ain't what it is in America. Damn it! I tell you what. Dang Polish developers, they're making games weird. Anyway,
hey,
I'm glad you got your computer together, man.
I did start playing the Callisto Protocol on my channel.
I saw that. Yeah, I was watching you playing it.
It is a beautiful game.
Oh, I bet.
And it's fun.
Yeah, dude.
All these negative reviews, man.
What was that SCP Backrooms game you played? You posted the video today, dude. That game looked good.
Yeah,
like
dude,
that looked like a Unreal 5 game.
It might have actually. That reminds me, the game we played together, Unreal 5.
Oh, it was.
That was Unreal 5.
Really?
You can't tell because it's the back rooms and there's not like a whole lot
Yeah.
of
Well,
really impressive looking stuff, but that was Unreal 5.
like the thing that made that game that you released yesterday or whatever, what made it,
Lost Tape.
yeah, the Lost Tape game, like what made it stand out to me was the character movement. Like your character had
Yeah,
weight.
yeah.
Like when you would like, I could tell when you would come up to a corner and stop to peek around because your character's like, whoa, okay, all right, now we're doing it like this. Like there's a little
Yeah.
bit of like this going on, but I think it's supposed to be designed to where your camera is like in the chest of your character, like it's a body cam, right? Like because it's
Right.
a lost tape, found footage body cam thing. I
Yeah.
think that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah. And yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was not expecting an SCP connection.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it hasn't happened sooner
Yeah.
because
Because we've talked about that. Yeah. A whole
yeah.
bunch.
So yeah, that was I enjoyed that, and I didn't show it because it's not super interesting, but like in the main menu when you start the game, the first tape is called like a tape of Josh or something like that. That's your
Yeah.
character. But there's like 4 or 5 empty sections of like future tapes that
Oh
the
yeah.
developer's gonna be
So
implementing. So
they're gonna make multiple tapes, and you're just
yeah.
playing through multiple things, but each one's a different character. Okay. Hey, that's pretty interesting.
And apparently it has an SCP connection, which makes it even more interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm
Cool.
definitely looking forward to playing that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Dude, you want to talk some more about games, or do you want to talk about companies that have to do with games? Or there's the Ubisoft story that we could talk about that's kind of both. You want to talk about that?
Sure. I mean, I don't know as much about it, but you seemed interested in it, and you must know more than I do. So
Well, no, I'm not gonna sit here and say I know more than you do. Like I just
you
like
know
ragging.
more than me, dude.
No, I just
You're
like
so
ragging on
smart,
Ubisoft.
dude.
I like ragging on Ubisoft because it's like the hubris. I feel like Ubisoft is one of those companies that has a lot of hubris, and it's like, oh, we
yeah.
make AAA titles, and every game they've made for the past year and a half to 2 years has been like absolute like garbo. Like
Well,
they came
depends
out.
on who you ask.
Yeah, they came out, and there was a thing. Hold on, I'm clicking. No, click in the thing. Yes, take me to the website. Ah, computer.
Jeez.
No,
Hey, Stella
no,
Chung, what's your daily
stop,
fix of gaming news?
stop. No. Stop talking. All right, thank you. You didn't hear it, but there was this lady talking, and it's like, I like IGN's website, but they don't need to have like audio as soon as you turn the thing on.
Right.
Let's go like this. With the power of the internet, this thing is happening. So we got Stella Chung here. It was Rebecca Valentine that wrote this whole thing. But apparently Ubisoft canceled like a whole bunch of unreleased games. Like it was like 3 unreleased games, and then they pushed Skull and Bones back, and yeah, like it's not looking good for Ubisoft as far as like coming out with things that make money that investors like to see. Like Ubisoft's not really putting it out there. And I'm wondering if their hens have finally come to roost. Like that we talked about a little bit before the podcast, where like Ubisoft seemed like they were on an upward trajectory with Assassin's Creed, like Origins, and then you had Odyssey, and then like once Odyssey kind of hit and people saw that like, oh, there's microtransactions and yada 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 yada. Why? This is a single player RPG. Why is there like a microtransaction shop and stuff like that? And then it started going downhill.
That I don't like.
Yeah. Why not? Tell me about it. Let's have
microtransactions
You don't
stored in a
like-
single player game?
You don't like having cosmetics you pay for? You don't like that?
I don't know. I mean, if it's just cosmetics, I guess it's not as big of a deal. And I guess that I don't know. I miss the days where a game was just a game.
I disagree with you. Like the whole like, it's just cosmetics, that's not a big deal. It is a huge deal. It's a
Okay.
deal that a lot of people don't notice until They're at a point where they're like, man, there's just like nothing to do in this game. Blah blah blah. Like the whole like cosmetics thing. We don't need this anymore. Let's get this out of here. Like the whole cosmetic thing is the reason to play games. Like I'll give you an example. Destiny 2, right? I know it's Destiny 2. But all the cool like armor sets and cosmetics in that game, you used to have to play the game to get those things.
That's fair.
Now, you don't have to play the game to get those things. You have to go to work to earn money. That way when those cool cosmetics come out, you pay for them and then boom, they're yours. And then you turn the game off and you go back to work to make more money for the next one. Like it's gotten to a point like in most like MMOs or long-winded games, like the cosmetics are what you play for. You want your dude to look cool. Like I want my dude to look like a badass, right? I want him to look like a space wizard. Well, I mean, it's easy to make your character look like a space wizard now because you just pay for the thing. There's no work involved. Well, there is work involved, but it's not
real work.
It's
real life work.
Yeah, it's not like work that takes you out of your cog in the machine existence and stuff like that. It's work that I got to go be a cog in the machine, and it just you feel really like I personally like when I see like cosmetic microtransactions. Great, that means there's not going to be anything to chase in the actual game because they're going to sit there and freaking. Anything that looks cool, let's go into the microtransaction shop. Anything that's
can
basic.
We blur that out?
No, we can't. This is live. I'm sorry, sir. This is live. We can't.
We'll edit
that
it
out.
in post. That's okay.
Yeah. But yeah,
no,
I
agree with you, and I didn't really have like when you asked me why.
Yeah.
I don't actually have a good reason, but that's a good reason.
Yeah, like it's one of those things.
I agree
like,
with you.
You don't think about until you're like 100 hours in a game, right? And you're just like, man, there's just like nothing to do. Why is there nothing to do? Well, I don't have anything to chase because anything that I would want to chase, I don't have to chase it anymore. I just go buy the fucking thing, right? Yeah. And like that whole like monetization structure, I'm okay with it as a monetization structure, but as like a person that plays games, I don't like it. I think it's a good answer, but not used in the way it's used.
Right.
Because
armors, man.
Yeah, like what they're trying to do is they're trying to like itemize the purchase of things, or not itemize the purchase of things. They're trying to making assets and stuff like that, doing the work that is like game development. They're making it more efficient by saying, oh, they want this one thing. All right, fine. I'll make this one thing, but it's going to cost them this amount. Instead of making a whole game's worth of shit, charging somebody $60 for it. Then like that's like saying like, oh, you put gas in your tank, you get to go into the gas station and do whatever. You get to go in a gas station and just get all kinds of candy without paying for it. Like that is the equivalent of it. It's like
that's a crime.
Like if you buy gas at a gas station and you can walk in and get like a drink, a candy bar, and like freaking like 3 phone chargers or whatever, like whatever's in the gas station, then you're definitely going to walk in the gas station to do that. But if you getting gas means you still have to pay for these other things, like you're less inclined to do it. Right?
Yeah.
Like in this analogy, like the gas station is the game and the gas is the game. And then all the shit in the store is the microtransact, the cosmetics. There you go.
Yeah,
sorry.
I agree.
Yeah.
And if nothing else, it completely removes all immersion in the game. Because like you said, you're not working for it, so you're not like, oh, I want to get this cool armor, so I'm gonna have to like climb the highest mountain and battle some beast, and then I unlock this cool armor, or I loot this cool armor. It's like I'm playing this game as this character. Let's say it's a fantasy game, just for the sake of argument, and you're like, oh, I want this cool armor. Let me load up the store real quick. Let me pull out my credit card. I'm no longer this character in this fantasy world. I am now me sitting behind the desk at my
With your little
computer,
card? Yeah.
spending my money on fake things. So
Yeah, it sucks.
I agree with you 100% actually. And you know what doesn't have freaking microtransactions in their games? Freaking indie games, bruh. You don't
Yeah,
see
for
that
the
in indie games?
most part, yeah.
Name me one indie game that has microtransactions in it.
Because why do you think that is? Like,
Well,
I
for
have a
one,
theory, but like, why do
I
you
mean,
think
for
it is?
one, they probably just don't have the resources to implement something like that because most indie games is made by like one dude in his basement, you know.
Yeah. Why's it got to be
And
in a
the
basement?
hey,
Why's it got to be a dude in a basement
you know what? Just
with a
leave.
smelly
Just
shirt and
you know
pizza?
what? Maybe it's all of that. Maybe it's none of that.
Maybe it's none of it.
And I think the reason why it's not indie games is because they're not corrupt, like mega corporations like a lot of gaming developers have turned into. Ubisoft, EA, Bethesda's headed there. Let's be honest.
Yeah. No, Bethesda's already there. Like
I know. I'm in
Bethesda
denial.
and
Okay.
Beth- no, for a second I got Bethesda and Blizzard
Oh yeah, that's
trough.
another
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Blizzard, Activision,
Microsoft,
Activision,
Sony.
Blizzard, bro. They're
Yeah.
like some of the worst ones.
What's crazy is a lot of these companies started as nothing back in the
Yeah,
day, and now they're like ruling the world of video games and the world in general.
yeah.
But I think that's why indie games don't have microtransactions in them because they're still innocent.
Yeah. Well, you
They've
know,
they
okay, you go ahead. No, go ahead.
I
I'm
was just
sorry.
say they've retained their innocence is all I was going to say.
I think I have seen indie games with battle passes in them. And I've
Well,
also, like, most of them are free to play indie games. They're like the free to play.
give me an example because I don't
All right.
know.
Okay. So
I'm not saying that you're wrong or that you're lying to me. It's like I just literally don't know.
You dare doubt me? No. No.
You lying to me, boy.
So like the game The Cycle, that survival extraction game that came out a couple months ago.
Okay,
That's
vaguely familiar.
It's a free to play, has a battle pass, yada yada. Most of these types of games are on Epic's game store. So you got The Cycle, which that is also on Steam. That's a Steam game and an Epic game. Then you've got that one game, I can't remember the name of it, but it's basically the Monster Hunter knockoff. Epic actually owns it, so it's on Epic Game Store.
Dauntless?
Dauntless, yeah. So like pretty much like it's Monster Hunter but with a battle pass. And everything that looks cool is
that considered
behind a paywall.
indie though? If it's being paid for by Epic Games,
it was started as an indie, and then Epic Games bought it.
I wonder if microtransactions or battle pass was part of that before they were bought by Epic, though.
Yeah, it probably was. Like, how do we want it to be free, but how do we get people to?
I played that game at a PAX before it even came out.
Oh my gosh!
And I don't remember if it was already bought by Epic Games yet or not.
I don't think so. Yeah.
And I don't remember there being any kind of battle pass back then.
Yeah, I remember playing it back when it was like a beta or alpha or something like that. And then I was just like, man, this game's fun. This is really great. And then it came out and it was like free to play. And I'm just like, oh,
here we go.
All right. Okay. And I tried it and I played it and the mechanics and stuff were there and everything like that. But like the actual things that made the game cool weren't there. And I think it's actually detrimental for an indie developer to put a battle pass in their game. Which it is, like, that's a very pro-con situation, right? So you think about it, like, I want everybody to have open access to this game. How do I do this? Well, I just make it free. They don't have a reason not to play it. It's free. They don't have a reason not to try it. That way, if they like it, then they'll just keep playing it. If they don't, then they'll just go play something else. Like, that's the ultimate thing. You can't put it behind a paywall because if it's a $40 indie game and then you don't like it, you feel like you've been ripped off or something like that, right? But if you make it a free indie game, then people aren't gonna feel like they've been ripped off or anything like that. More people are likely to play it. in its initial thing. More people are likely to try it and then just keep playing it, regardless if it's good or not, because the whole like, well, it's free, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure. I see what you're
But
saying.
then at that point, like, how do you put food on the table? Okay, so I got this free game. How do I put food on the table? I need to monetize it somehow. Well, you got to put microtransactions in it at that point. And I think that's short. Like, I think that's long term detrimental to an indie game. I
think so too.
I don't think indie games should ever be free nor have a battle pass in it.
Correct.
Like, even indie games, like, if it is a multiplayer game, like an MMO type thing, I don't want to see, like, I don't want to see battle passes and shit in it.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
But it's going to have it. Another thing, like, on PC, like, if it's a free-to-play game, dude, usually they're rife with, like, cheaters, like hackers and stuff like that. Like, even like
Bots.
big games like Destiny 2. Dude, for the longest time, like, it was just full of cheaters. Like, people would just not play the Crucible, like, PvP stuff, because it was just people, like, like teleporting and, like, the God mode and all kinds of BS like that for the longest time. Like, it was just ruining the game. It was ruining it.
I kind of remember that. I seem to remember hearing something about that anyways.
Oh, yeah, and then Bungie was like, you know what? We're not going to try and, like, create like anti-cheat software. We're just going to sue the shit out of them. We're just going to sue them so hard that like they're just going to stop making cheats for it.
Yeah. I mean,
and it like honestly, like it worked, but it didn't work. But it worked. Like on bulk, it worked good. Like, it's amazing what suing the shit out of somebody will do. It's kind of as many
crazy, right?
as many like negatives as Bungie has in my book. Like their ability to sue the crap out of somebody's pretty up. Like, their lawyer team is kind of top notch. I feel like, for a game developer.
Good.
No, like, they don't have like record label level lawyers, right? Like, record labels have probably the most vicious, like, I will eat my baby type of lawyer, right? I feel like Bungie has something close to that, but not at that tier, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh, you're gonna make cheats for our game? Good. We're gonna come after you in the real.
Yeah. I'm all for that.
Yeah. I feel like that was a good call. But anyway, microtransactions, don't like them. Anyway.
Wow. We just went on a freaking tangent there. What were we talking about?
We were talking about Ubisoft. So that that does tie into Ubisoft, because a lot of their games, like almost every game they had in the past 2.5 years, has had microtransaction, battle pass, cosmetic pay, blah, blah, blah. But on top of that, they've been full price video games. So you're buying a full price video game that is on release like absolute technical garbage, right? Like, so what was that one that had John Bernthal in it? Was it like Ghost Recon or something like? No, it wasn't Ghost Recon. It was what is that franchise? It was a Tom Clancy game.
Ghost Recon?
Yeah, maybe it was. Maybe it was Ghost Recon.
Breakpoint or Wildlands?
Yeah, it was Breakpoint, I think. But it was one of the most recent one, dude. On release, it was just a disaster. Like, people like, you just couldn't play the game. Like, it was so broke you couldn't play it. Like, it wasn't even like, oh, it's janky, but at least I got through to the end. Like, it was so broke, like, you couldn't make it to the end of the game.
And it was still full price.
And it was full price, or like $40 or something like that. But the thing that wasn't broke was the microtransactions shop.
The store still worked great.
Yep. The store and everything like that.
The only place to get 60 frames per second was in the store.
Everything worked great in that, but everything else in the game was hot garbage.
Yeah, I've played a little bit of that, actually. I actually kind of enjoy the game now, because it's not like that, I guess. But
yeah,
I've always been a bit of a fan of the Ghost Recon games. Since the olden days.
I liked Wildlands. Wildlands was pretty cool. I was just like, man, this is kind of fun.
Breakpoint's about the same.
Yeah.
It's got all the same mechanics, I think.
Yeah, but it was when it came out and it reviewed bad. I was just like, I'm not even going to invest my time in it.
See, I can't go off of that. Now having played the Callisto Protocol with all the bad reviews that it got and has gotten and continues to get, and people are like, "Man, it's too much like Dead Space, even though it's made by the same developer of Dead Space. The combat's weird. Meh."
Well, see, like I listened to a couple of different reviewers, right? That have like the
What they had
same.
to say.
Well, like they have the same sentiment. Like everybody didn't. Not everybody liked Callisto Protocol, but like I'll listen to a couple of them or I'll watch a couple of them, and then I'm just like, these. I don't think their points of view really affect what I care about, or if it does, or if it doesn't. Right? Like, because that's the thing. Like for me, like the way a game looks, if it looks great, yeah, I'm gonna like if the world looks good, then I'll enjoy it. Like Cyberpunk 2077, dude, I was about that game. I was about it because the world looked good. Like the world building stuff aspect, like the actual environment looked great. So there was whole days where I'd just sit there and just ride around on my little motorcycle, explore all the whole thing. I really wasn't even playing the game, but
Yeah.
but
yeah,
it
I did the
reviewed
same
bad.
thing.
It reviewed bad. Everybody's like,
Yeah.
"Why are you playing that game?" Like, because I'm just exploring the environment.
Because I'm having fun with it to you.
Yeah, just because it's like I agree with you. Just because something reviews bad doesn't mean you're gonna
Well,
you're gonna not have a good
it's
time playing it. It
it's
depends on
also just
what you're there for.
it's become a trend though, it seems, to crap on games.
Well, there's been so many bad ones.
I understand that, but that doesn't mean that you just, as a trend, crap on somebody's hard work without any good reason.
Yeah,
Or, I mean, I suppose there was probably some good reason for like Callisto Protocol when it first came out, because I know there was a lot of performance issues, and that does suck, and that's why I didn't buy it when it came out. But it's been
yeah,
patched now, and it was like 20% off, so I bought it, and I'm enjoying it.
yeah.
But I don't know. It just seems like it's maybe it's part of the cancel culture. Maybe
It is.
it's
It's
social warrior
easier.
keyboard
Yeah,
motherfuckers everywhere thinking that their opinion actually anyone gives a damn about. Which no, you shouldn't care about what any of these people say or think, because they're just people.
I feel like we're going down a very dangerous road. Like because we're just people, Jared. Why should you care about the podcast at all? But we
Shouldn't
want you to
you?
watch.
You
Please
shouldn't.
watch.
You watch it and you make up your own damn mind. That's what everyone should do with everything.
True.
Doesn't matter if we tell you to like and subscribe and go follow us on our other social medias and
Go do
follow us on
those
our other
things.
channels.
Go, yeah.
But go do those things.
They're like, it's down there. Just click all the things. You know by now. We've all been classically conditioned to do the things that YouTube wants us to do.
Yeah.
It's all
But
psychological, man. Conditioning.
but
They
at the
want
same
us. Yeah.
time, I want
Click on a thing.
like even with my own YouTube channel, I want people to subscribe because they like the content and actually enjoy it. You know, like we've talked about this before, like with the whole Markiplier shout out bullcrap that happened twice. I mean, I
Two-time.
appreciate
You got me to
most of the
two-time.
I appreciate everyone who has stuck around, but
Yeah.
the majority of people who came over from
Oh,
that
yeah.
have not.
Well,
Because
see,
if they did, my videos would be getting thousands of views instead of hundreds of views.
yeah, no, you'd be getting hundreds of thousands of views. So, like, that whole thing, like, that happens on Twitch every second.
I
Like,
know, it's
the
weird.
whole raid thing.
Yeah.
Like, nah. No, like, it's like it just like that's one of the reasons I don't raid people on Twitch. Not because I'm like I have super amount of viewers and I could influence things. It's just like I know it's a whole thing to bring visibility to people or channels or whatever that don't have visibility, because Twitch's visibility and search is very bad. Like compared to like YouTube's, it's very bad. But like I feel like I'm forcing an opinion or something like that onto a person. And when you I know as a person, when I'm forced to make a choice or to watch a thing or whatever, instantly, no, I don't even care what the fuck it is. Like, no, I'm not going to do it. Like, I'm very,
you will not coerce me.
yeah, I'm very contrarian. Like, I am a contrary, like, oh, you want to give me money? Fuck you, man. I'm not taking that money. Fuck you. I'm going to do what I want to do. Like, that's what it is. So, like, that's basically the whole thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
No matter how good it is for me, unless it's just like a sweet ass deal, and I'm just like, okay, this is kind of worth my time. Like, unless it's like that, I'm gonna buck against it. I'm gonna fight against it. And one way that happens, you'll see it on Twitch all the time. Like, people get raided within 30 seconds. 90% of those people are gone.
Yeah. Yeah, and dude, I kind of feel like raiding on Twitch is very similar to almost like a sub for sub situation.
It is. Yeah, no, it is. It's 100% is. Yeah.
Because all you're doing, these people who come over on a raid, unless they've raided you before and you kind of have like a rapport maybe, but like if it's just a random raid from someone, these people who come over and maybe some of them follow, maybe some of them don't, whatever. They're not there because they found you and like what you're doing. They're only there because the person they were watching came over and decided to raid you.
Yeah.
Like, that is not a organically grown loyal follower. That is sub for sub. That is follow me and I'll follow you kind of
raid
mentality.
Me and I'll raid
that's
you.
never a good. Like, I don't know. It's not good. Anyone will tell you sub for sub is bad, and that's pretty much what that is.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. Like, so, like when Markiplier shouted you out, he was bringing visibility to your channel, right?
Yeah.
And
he did.
He did. Your channel deserved it. But the issue with that is the same thing with the issue. That same issue on Twitch is that, what is it called? A Venn diagram. The Venn diagram, two circles, right? And then they overlap. Is the viewer of this and the viewer of this in the middle part where that person would watch this or that, regardless of the people. I feel like a lot of people that watch Markiplier stuff are there for Mark. Like, they are there 100%. For him. Yeah. And
I get that.
Yeah. And that's not going to translate well to shouting other people out. So me, I've tried to make my community to where, like, I'm a variety type of content creator. So I've tried to make my community to where it's like, you're here for me. You're here for me and the other people that are in this group of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're not really trying to make it a walled garden, but you're here for the people. So
family.
Yeah. Family. Oh, all right, Vin Diesel. Okay. But, like, so when I raid somebody, if I don't stick around, they have zero incentive to stay there. And, like, it's really on the person that I raid to, like, you need to entertain these people, because if you don't, they're just going to peace out. And that's, I feel like that's unfair on them, because they may be trying to make their community a different way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you'd like to think everybody tries to make their community about, like, hey, like, let's just make a community where we're just here for each other, right? Well, it's that whole, like, fly on the wall situation, or like that's the wrong thing. Like, it's the whole thing where you go to, like, a new bar and you don't know anybody there, so you just kind of don't talk to anybody.
Yeah.
Like, why would you even be there in the first place? Why not just go to the bar you're used to?
Like, this is awkward. I'm gonna bounce.
Yeah, if you're an antisocial person, which most people on the internet are, yeah, like, then you're not gonna stick around.
Yeah, I mean, I won't lie. Like, anytime I've watched one of your streams and you go and raid someone, I leave. Like,
yeah,
I don't want, and I don't necessarily not like the people that you choose to raid, but I was there to watch you stream and partake in your company.
Yeah.
And then when it was over, I moved on to other things.
Yeah, you shouldn't. Yeah, nobody should ever apologize for that.
No, I'm not apologizing.
I'm not
being
saying
honest,
you are. Yeah, like, I'm just saying, like, some people
talk down to me.
Hey, Some people feel bad about that. Like, oh, he rated,
I
now we're
know.
here, so now I gotta stick it out for like it. No,
No,
like
hell no.
it's always been my thing to
Sorry,
like
dude.
find your entertainment and like watch your entertainment because that's what like why else are you here? Like the whole three things of like watching anything on the internet: entertainment, learning, and cats. Like that's it. Like that's the weird lizard brain thing that likes
Yes.
watching cats. Like I don't know what it is.
I think everyone does.
Yeah, even if you're not a cat person, you watch something that has like
Mm-hmm.
your favorite animal in it because you're just like, oh, I like lizards or I like hamsters or whatever. Hell, I found a duck channel on Twitter the other day, like why ducks are awesome or something like that, like why you should
They're
have a
not.
duck. Yeah, no, they're not. They're evil.
Didn't I
But
tell
there's
you?
there's
Was
like
it me?
yeah, no, you
Sorry,
told
sorry.
me like with the whole like rocket penis and stuff. Yeah, no. It's like basically like the scorpion like from Mortal Kombat. Get over here. Dude, is
Except
that
it's his dick.
yeah, except it's his penis. Like that's I think that's funny that that's so ingrained into our culture that as soon as you say scorpion, we know exactly
Yeah.
what's coming
Oh yeah.
next.
Well, especially because we grew up in that time period where that was like new and
Yeah.
impressive and controversial and all that good stuff.
Yeah. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, that's one of the reasons I don't raid people.
Yeah.
Is like
It
I don't raid unless I am going to be there for like the next hour. Like I only
Right.
raid people that I am willing to watch.
right. You've rated me and then you stuck around like the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah, cuz like I
rest
like
of the
watching
thing.
you. I don't like
Oh,
watching the games that you play because you play spoopy games, and I
I
don't
was.
like that. But
You
I
you've
will
ca- you've
watch. I will watch because of you.
you've rated when I was playing Power Wash Simulator.
Yeah, like when you're on
That's
Twitch, you
not
don't play.
spoopy.
Yeah, you don't play spoopy games on Twitch.
Sometimes I do, but
Yeah,
mostly not. Which
yeah.
I need to I need to maybe do that some more.
What stream on Twitch?
Yeah, stream some
Why
non-spoopy games on Twitch. I don't know.
stream on YouTube?
I can't because it's not spoopy, and YouTube will be like, "Ah, you can't do that. That's not what you normally do. How dare you?"
The tags are different. That is another thing. Like big congrats to anybody on YouTube that actually does variety content and is successful. Because like those days are long gone. They are not here
Yeah,
anymore
you
unless
you
you're
have to
like 1 million plus subscribers.
so
And
you have to
even
start off
then,
with like a single niche, and then when you get those
yeah.
followers, then you can do all those other things that you want to do
Yeah,
because
and
they're already
even
there.
even like the bar keeps moving. So like you have 1 million subs, that doesn't mean shit anymore. Like I
It
know
still
people
means something.
like yeah, but I know people that have like almost 2 million subs and their channel like they want to do variety content so bad, but they just can't. They just can't
Yeah.
do it and they're just
I
they're
think that
struggle
says
bossing.
something more about the community that they've got. Like, if
Oh
they're not
yeah.
willing to support that creator in doing that, then
Well,
maybe you
no,
need to
like
find another million subs that aren't pieces of shit.
yeah. Well, like the thing about YouTube is you kind of have to chase the trends a little bit, right? You have to chase the things that are doing good and the things that aren't and stuff like that. You got to pick your battles, right? And
It's
then
true when it's not true.
and in picking your battles, you're gonna pick up people that are I'm only here for this, and like they only show up for that one thing.
Yeah, I think like most of the people that I interact with, like pretty regularly, like in chat comments or whatever. I think for the most part they would watch pretty much anything that I did, whether it was horror or not.
I'm
I
gonna
think
be honest with you. I would rather watch stuff that's not horror. As
I
soon as
know
I
you
see
would
you,
because
as
you're a
soon
little
as I
chicken.
yeah, well, no, it's not that. Like I just don't think that's entertainment to me. It's like to me, horror is not entertainment. Watching you like squirm a little bit, like those like finite moments, that is entertainment. If you could take that and put it in a YouTube short, as much as I
I
hate them,
do.
I would watch that. I would watch that more
And the
than that.
YouTube Shorts is the only way my mother freaking channel right now is getting any kind of
Wait a second.
exposure.
I wonder if that's what it is. I wonder if that's why they're so popular compared to the long form. Like because of the shorts, if you edit your shorts to where you just see the moments where you get scared, then you don't have to sit through the rest of it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I guarantee that's why. I mean, it all boils down to people's attention spans as well. Whoa, what are you doing with your hands there? Look at you go.
Something
That's
that
mesmerizing.
might be contrived as sensual, but not very much. I'm just doing this with my fingers.
I mean, I know what you're doing. You know, I can do it too.
But it was
just seeing it on camera was just like, whoa, that's cool, man.
Well, if you're out there listening, if you're out there, dude, I might get banned from Twitch if I do that on stream. You don't know, man. You don't know. But yeah, no, Ubisoft sucks. That's back to the main topic. Also, they push Skull and Bones back like another. At some point, it's going to release, and then people are just going to be like, "Wow, you worked for like 8 years on this garbage," because it started as a Black Flag DLC. Yeah. It was a Assassin's Creed Black Flag DLC, and they were like, "You know what? No, let's make this a game," which was a good call. And then like years and years went by, and that is the story of Skull and Bones.
It was a good idea years ago, and now no one cares.
If they would have like acted on it at the time, it would have been they probably would have made a boatload of money. Because they were right. Like the sailing system in Assassin's Creed Black Flag was great. It was great.
I love that game, dude.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was perfect.
That was a hell of a fun game.
Like literally they just needed to make Assassin's Creed Black Flag 2.0. And then just instead of it being Assassin's Creed, just make it like Pirates of the Caribbean or some bullshit. Or just like do Pirates.
Did. Yeah. And make a Pirates of the Caribbean game.
Yeah. Or like Rare did and make a Pirates game. I wouldn't associate it with Pirates of the Caribbean. Just in case. Yeah, it's just another franchise. All right. We're kind of past the hour and 21 minute mark. So do you kind of just want to like chill out, or you want to keep talking about stuff? You just want to chill and goof off on the internet, the fun things, and talk to chat.
Babbling Bros after hours.
All right, the mainline podcast. If you're just here to listen to two dudes talk about random stuff,
we're still gonna do that.
We're still gonna do that, but now we're gonna like tie chat into it and everything like that, and all that. Like that's not always. The reason, like, I'm kind of wanting to break it up is it's not always what people want to do, right? Mm-hmm. Like, not everybody wants to hear what chat has to say. Sorry, chat. That's the reality of it. And not everybody wants to see me and you, Jared, like, fiddle fart around on Twitter.
Bull crap.
I know. It's wild. It is wild.
People do want
they do?
to see me fiddle fart. Guarantee it.
Oh, my gosh. Oh my gosh! Oh, you did tweet. Look at you! You did tweet.
I told you I was going to.
What the hell, dude? What is this?
You tell me you're sharing.
Dude, look! I am now. What is that thing? All right, so this is Versus. This is a guy that I like watching. He's what are they? A VTuber? Yeah, I would label him as a VTuber now. He didn't used to be a VTuber, but he is now.
Okay.
And yeah, dude, like his content's really great. He does all kinds of weird little stuff like that. Would you let me brush your teeth with this? Is that a toothbrush?
It's probably a toothbrush for animals, like a cat or a dog, I think.
Actually. So that's like some kind of like that is not used as a toothbrush. There are so many people that do not use this for a toothbrush.
Oh, yeah.
It's
definitely have alternate uses.
This is. I wonder how flexible it is.
Well, only one way to find out. This is the segment where we buy things and try them on stream.
I might just like, I'm just going to open up a new tab so I can leave that right where it's at. I'm just going to click into this one. There we go. Hey, there we go.
Speaking of VTubers, have you heard about that AI that has its own like streaming channel?
What?
There is an AI. I don't know who developed it.
Yeah, I have heard about that. There's like an AI tuber, like Pokimane had a comment on it, but I don't know what she said about it. Would you know?
I don't know what she said either. I saw something on either TikTok or Twitter about it, and it's like it's an AI that streams games.
Yeah,
and it's probably it is way more successful than even you or I are, who are real people.
That's sad, but also true. Like, any machine is going to be way more successful than a human. Like, that's just the way it's... Like, Like, I think that's one thing a lot of people haven't realized with like the coming AI is gonna get here type stuff. Yeah, I think they need to like it's coming. You're not gonna stop it. It's coming because
No.
it's profitable.
Singularity.
Yeah, it's like it's coming. The best thing that people can do in regards to AI and robotics and stuff like that is figure out where you fit into it. Like figure out where your thing of a human being goes in this AI digital space. Like it's literally going to be like as big if not bigger of an advancement like the internet was. Like we're still discovering like we're still in the baby steps of the internet. Literally. Like literally we're still in the baby steps of the internet.
Yeah.
And like we're about to get pounded with a whole nother like technological leap. Don't give me that weird. Yeah, don't give me that weird look. Like we're literally about to get like just like crushed by AI.
With that finger tool that you just showed.
with one of those, dude.
That's what a robot dick looks like.
No. I don't know. That some people might go for that. It depends on how soft it is.
Yeah.
Dude, what is this thing? So this is one thing I've always wanted. Like, I want a handheld that is just a computer. It's just I want a handheld that's like I'd love to get a Stream Deck, but the time for me to get a Stream Deck has, or not a Stream Deck, a Steam Deck has been, I guess, too far gone. Like I'll get the next Steam Deck. I'll get the next one because like as soon as I buy it, it's gonna be out of date, and I'll just be like, oh fuck.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But like A&EO, they're like a competitor to the Steam Deck and also to the Switch. And dude, they're coming out with some like serious hardware. And this was like, I think A&EO or another one like it they were like a Kickstarter. It's like a Kickstarter company is what it started off as. And it's like, ever since the Steam Deck came out and they were just like shown to be the competitor to it, like the Steam Deck brought discoverability to A&EO just because like it was just in the same zeitgeist. Like they already had products in the marketplace and people were just like looking for things. But like it looks
a straight up computer.
Yeah, no, it's just a computer, but it's a handheld. Basically, it's a laptop from like 3 years ago. Like as mentioned before, A&EO will bring a slide this year. It may be the best screen ever in 6-inch handheld. Oh, stepless adjustment, slide rail angle, floating design screen, more familiar keyboard character layout than natural between the keyboard and the controller. Okay, yeah, whatever. But yeah, like if this is a thing, oh my gosh, dude, that actually looks really cool. Like I'm totally down for that. How much is it
though? That's the question.
Like it can't be too much more. Like $1,000. I feel like $1,000 is like the limit. 1,000 for a computer. This is a Windows machine.
Yeah.
This is a Windows machine. If it is strong as a laptop with like a 3070 in it.
That's what I was gonna ask. Like, what kind of like game capabilities are we gonna have with this thing?
Well,
that's really what it's gonna come down to.
A lot of these are starting to get the same chips and GPUs and stuff that like consoles have, like modern consoles. Mm-hmm. So modern consoles like the Xbox Series X can do 4K at 120 FPS in certain titles, right? Like it has that much horsepower. Like put that in your hand. If this can do it in your hand, I will 100% buy one of these. I will buy one of these and then I will make a dock station in my living room, like at my chair, to where I could just set it down and then I just have a computer there. Or I could pick it up and I could take it into my garage and I could set it down and just have a computer there. Like that's what I told you. Remember I told you that's what this was going to be? Eventually this will become that. Like I don't know why fucking cell phone makers don't use that type of technology. They're just so freaking hard dick about like, oh, we gotta have the Snapdragon, blah, 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 blah. and all that. Like, no, dude. Like, put the most power you can in the smallest package. There. Make sure it's cool, like as in temperature wise. That way, like I could plug this in and I just have a computer. Like I want that. If eventually you'll see one of those with a SIM card slot, and it'll just be like a mobile hotspot SIM card slot. You're gonna see one of these guys at some point with a SIM card slot, so it can get 5G internet through your mobile provider, and then at that point you won't need a cell phone anymore.
That'd be nice.
You just won't, because you have a SIM, right? So you could receive, if you could have one of these and send and receive phone calls on it, and it's also just a computer.
Yeah.
Like it's literally just a Windows machine with a cell phone like duct taped to the side of it, and it can get 5G internet wherever you go, or like 4G internet. Hell, 4G's fine, really, not for gaming, but for like doing stuff on the internet, that's fine. Like watching YouTube, it's totally fine. But like you get one of these, yeah, you're not gonna need a cell phone. Like this is garbage at that point. Like your PC down on the floor, pretty close to being outdated. Unless it could actually do like 8K at 500 hertz or 500 FPS or something. But for like a mobile solution, yeah, that would be the best thing. I'm pretty sure they make laptops with SIM card slots in them.
I was just thinking the other day, like when I was trying to look up like some like news story and stuff.
Yeah.
It seems like anytime you type in like tech news,
Uh-huh.
it's all cell phones. Like I don't care about cell phones. Like why can't we come up with anything else other than cell phones, and that's all there is in freaking tech news? I'm just done with cell phones. I don't care. Like Kevin. So I'm down for this new thing, man. Let's get rid of cell phones and just have little mobile computers. Whoa.
Dude, look at this Stompy Cat. Look at Stompy Cat. Dude, Stompy Cat's where it's at.
You can get a next-gen console or Kevin.
I would get Kevin. I would get Kevin.
Look at that.
Little Stompy Cat.
I want Kevin.
Like a Dotson cat.
Yeah, kinda.
What the hell are you doing with your? What is this?
I don't know, man. This is Twitter, my dude.
Yeah, I know. Oh, what happened here? No.
Oh no. Oh, he's just
okay. He's celebrating his 92nd birthday. I was just like, no, don't take James, not James. No, don't do it. God.
Like, why have the black and white photo there too? No. It just tells me that this is a memorial.
The Greyhound Concorde.
This looks just like the nose of a freaking Concorde.
This is it.
Too. What the heck?
This is it, dude.
You need to make that dog face your freaking profile picture, my dude.
Really? Okay. Let's.
Yeah, you don't have to do it now.
Oh no, I'm doing it right now. This is the shenaniganery side of the podcast. I'm doing it now.
Okay.
Like you can't tell me, like I want to make that the
thumbnail?
No, I want What if we just made that the thumbnail of the whole podcast? God, that would be so fun. People would click the shit out of it, but they would feel so debated when they found out like it was just a thing.
Add a red circle and an arrow to the dog too, just to sell it completely.
Oh God. Oh yeah. I'll make it my thumbnail after the podcast.
Okay.
Or I'll make it my thing after the podcast. Cause like it'll be in the browser and I'll have to I gotta go into profiles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, what's this? It's been 2 days since I smacked someone for no reason. You bad kitty. You naughty kitty.
Like a good kitty,
tweets,
though.
if you're all about cat Twitter, tweets of cats, literally that's the place to be.
Is that the best one?
Yeah. It's the most like hitting you with like tweets every like couple of hours. And then you got some other ones. Like, look at this one. Like, so cute. Look at him. He's super duper cute.
But he's all dirty now.
Yeah, he's all dirty. Yeah, I think my Twitter's kind of not banging today. How's your Twitter going? You found anything on Twitter? What are you doing?
I'm watching you, man.
What the fuck is that? What are you doing, cat?
Cat just passed out taking a wicked poo. Just like, look at his face. What? What? He's like, oh my god, I've been holding it for so long. What would you do if you freaking just like had your phone out and your cat just started doing that? Would you start filming it? Like this person?
Yeah.
Like what timing?
I think so. I think with things like that, when people catch their animals, their friends doing stuff like that, it's because they do it more than once, and they notice like, oh, this cat does this shit like all the time, and then they like, oh, the next time you go there, I'm gonna pull my phone out and be ready. Cat jam.
That's probably true.
Small.
Yeah, I mean, didn't we determine that Twitter is pretty dead on Wednesdays / Thursday morning? Anyways?
Thursday morning is pretty dead. Dude, like this is such a random picture. You got Pee Wee Herman, Elton John, not Sammy Hagar. Who's this?
Is that the Golden Girls?
No. Golden Girls confirmed. It's the lead singer of freaking Van Halen, dude. Before Sammy Hagar, like it was the original lead singer, and then Sammy Hagar came in and took his thing.
I don't remember names, man.
Oh God, I can't remember.
I don't even remember your name right now.
Me neither. And then you got, I think this is a interviewer. I can't remember her name, but this was obviously taken back in the 80s. Back when,
you
like,
think it's a legit picture? Like they're all actually there? Did someone
Photoshop
Photoshop them all together?
No, like they're all there. This
well,
is
they
like
possibly have to be all together in the same place.
No, this is at like a Golden Globes or some like get together event because
60 minutes.
Yeah, well, like Elton John is in a
He
tuxedo.
Looks normal.
No, he's in a tuxedo. Like he's there looking like.
Well, normally he's glittered up and has like all
but when he's at
and...
but when he's at formal events, he always wears like a tuxedo.
Really?
Yeah. From what I've seen, sometimes sometimes the tuxedo, like in recent years, the tuxedos have like the fabrics and stuff have been more flamboyant, but like back in the 80s, he would always just wear a traditional tuxedo for like formal events because like he's like while he is flamboyant in his style and stuff, he's still a gentleman. Like he still treats.
I'm not saying he's not. I've never seen him.
He still treats certain events with more respect than others. You know.
I think my cat's trying to get in my room right now.
I'll go let your cat in.
Okay.
Fine. Jesus.
All right, if I have to.
All right, we're going to sit here and try and find some other cool stuff on the tweeters. I'm really just not. This is the second time, LeVar. What is this? Okay, that's a pretty decent. That's a pretty good quote. Pretty good quote. Right there. That's the unfortunate like caption or a screen grab. Good thing Jared didn't see it. He might think it meant something else. See, look, why you should have a duck. Like I will admit ducks are cute. Like little baby ducks and whatnot are cute. When they grow up, they're not as cute. You see this? This is why you should have a duck. The Twitter feed. You can't hear me. You can't hear me at all.
I can now.
This is the why you should have a duck thing.
I still don't agree with it.
I don't agree with having a duck whatsoever.
Looky who I got.
Yeah, I see that. Little baby kitty. All right, let's get rid of you. There we go. The internet. So does your cat ever do that where your cat just like spaces out and stuff like that?
What do you mean?
Like that cat that was taking Dukes and just like fell over.
Not like that per se. I've seen him. I've seen him. So like the litter box that I have for him has like a, a a lip on it that you can take off to make it easier to clean and stuff.
Yeah.
He's used to having that on there, right? So he'll perch up on it and like do stand up like that cat was doing that spaced out.
Yeah.
Kind of like do his business like that. Well, I didn't put it back on once after changing his litter box. He's standing on this thing and it just goes. He just face plants the whole cat box with him because like the balance was off and he was up and I just started losing my absolute shit to see he stayed in this position the whole time and
He's like, this is how I poop. Bam. Yeah, that's pretty funny. That's pretty fun. I've caught my cat spacing out before.
Yeah.
Like she'll just be sitting there like doing a thing and I'll like mess with her and she'll just be like spaced out, dude. Like she's just like she's not there. Like the lights are on, but nobody's home.
Cats are weird, man. When it comes down to it, cats are just weird. They're unpredictable, but they're also just awesome.
Yeah, yeah, they're pretty. I think I read somewhere or saw somewhere like scientifically we don't know that much about cats because they're just so different from one another and also like hard to manage in a scientific setting. Because they're so spastic. Like sometimes they'll cooperate with you, sometimes they won't. Sometimes they'll do a thing and yeah. I believe that. You try to look up any reason why cats do what they do and there's like 100 different explanations as to why they do what they do. It's like, okay, well, no, that just means that no one actually knows and people are just guessing. Yeah. Yeah, I think. Yeah, like I think cats are just kind of like. I think cats are more like people.
Wait, what is
Than
that?
Well, they can't see this, so I've shrunk the things down.
Okay. It's a good thing because that might get us banned.
No, that's a pastry. You guys want to see?
I understand what it is.
It's a
but the
pastry.
YouTube might not think that. YouTube might see that and be like, "Whoa."
No, that's
age restricted.
That is
God dang it! You actually. It's on a delay too.
It's a pastry. It's a pastry. Yeah, it might be it might be a crude poop joke, but
does it have a hot dog in it? Is that what that is?
I think it's
like, what is that? That's a hot dog in a pastry.
I mean, right? Like if you're out there and you're in chat, tell me what that is. What kind of pastry that is?
I don't know. I think there's just one person watching, and it might be me.
It's me.
I can. I'll respond.
If you're out there, no. If you're out there, let us know in the comment section what kind of pastry that is. I'm gonna say it's a caramel filled donut, like a donut hole or like jelly filled donut type thing.
No, man, no way.
It's just got an unfortunate choice of filling.
No.
Dude, it's just the same. Like, what is the deal with Twitter algorithm, dude? It's just like the same shit over and over. Look at this cat.
I want to say one more thing about the hot dog donut.
Yeah.
I think that might actually be really good. Like that sweet and savory kind of combination. Like, I think that actually would be good.
What? Mystery meat on a sugar bun?
No, a hot dog, not mystery meat. Like
that's what a hot dog is.
No, like no. I don't know what kind of hot dogs you eat down in South Carolina, but
I eat the same ones you do. They're mystery meat. It's like the shit that they sweep off the floor.
Me. You don't know me.
You don't know.
I prefer a bratwurst, anyways.
I only eat premium mystery meat.
I like to know the name of the mystery meat I'm consuming.
All right.
Well, dude.
Yeah.
I think.
Is it time? Yeah, no,
we're time. I feel like we've hit a natural lull where there's like, you know, I feel like this is a good moment to.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.